Hey, this is Robert from MareWeb. It's been a while since I've done a video. I've got a new product out here, and I want to describe it to you. And this may be the first of many videos about this product, but I'm going to see how much I can get in here with this first video. This obviously is the Quick Client main screen, and this is my stats. If you go over to the other menu, you see my stats over here. Same thing whether you take this route or the other route. If you open that up, you will get to, let me see here where we're going. You get to this on your screen. You notice there's a new entry here. It says Crisis Treatment Effectiveness using QT analysis. My goal here is to create a premium end of the Merit Web project, and what I'm going to be doing is accenting some of the assessment tools and showing you when a client is better. My goal is to be able to statistically show you the client has made significant enough progress that they have zeroed out with the mean of the test. So in other words, in this particular case, quick test analysis, treatment effectiveness, summary for client crisis. When you click on that, you go to here, and I'm being careful because I have actual results in here. So I've pulled all this stuff up. You go to here and you get a summary of everybody who has taken quick test 3 times or more. That's all you're going to get. If you have 1,000 people in here and you've only got 3 that have taken quick tests 3 times or more, that's all you're going to get. So that's one way you can get at this, and you can see your entire list by going through my stats. In the beginning, I designed my stats to be able to be expanded for this kind of stuff. So that expansion now is actually happening. Another way, and a more effective way for you to get in, or an easier, more pinpointed way, is right through the quick test results themselves. Now, the premium end of this whole thing is another subscription. This is intensive doctorate level analysis, and I have to continue to work on this. This is stuff that would cost you a couple $100 an hour. At least, I mean, I was pulling $175 an hour when I was working as a clinical psychologist. You're going to pay at least that much to have somebody analyze this stuff one time. You're going to have it at your fingertips for a greatly reduced price from that. But what you will see in your normal quick test results is this new thing that says Comprehensive Treatment Effectiveness Discussion. That is where you're going to run into this statement that says click to view treatment effectiveness discussion for a specific client. Okay? When you click on that, what you're going to end up getting is the, let's click on it so we get there, is the specific treatment effectiveness for that specific client. We're looking at means, we're looking at standard deviations, minimums, maximums, standard deviations, all kinds of stuff. And I know that stuff that you probably maybe never studied, or you can't remember that you studied it because it was too traumatic or whatever. You just absolutely are repulsed by math. Whatever is the case, you may not remember that stuff. What I'm trying to do here is to put that stuff effectively in your hands without you needing to go back through the trauma of learning statistics again. One of the tools that I've used is called color. Green, you probably have recognized from driving a car, is good. It means you can go. Green is go. Red, what do we do when we encounter red? We stop. Okay, and I'm going to guess that you understand that non-bold versus bold, the bold is probably worse. Okay? This is all very intuitive stuff. This particular part of the quick test results show the minimum score that a person has ever scored, the maximum score that they've ever scored. First score, that's what they came in as. The last score. The last test you gave them, this is what they scored. Here's your range of how long, and here's what we see as far as how many times they've taken it. Quick test should be taken once a week if a person is in crisis and they are in counseling. There's no excuses for that. There's no charge for quick tests. There's no charge for any test. It should be given every week. There is a reason for that. This graph will flow much better if it's taken on a periodic timetable. This particular person, you can see they started at a certain level. They went up after they started counseling, and then they came down. This particular graph is going to show you as many as you want to put on it. This one's got 235 on it. It's kind of confusing if you want to try and look at individual results. But if you want to get an idea, okay, here's a crisis, and here's a long period of time with no crisis, and here's depression that just came out of the blue and spiked near 130. Okay, on result number 147. So anyway, this shows you that things appear to be getting better. Appear to be getting better. Are they better? Would you release this client? They're below 115 on all three scales. Everything's good. Shake hands and say goodbye, right? Client's better. Well, let's drill this down a little more. And this, as you can see, is called a drill down. That's what we're going to do. Most recent data. This up here is all data. Most recent data. This is their first score. This teal box. 9,482. And then these are the last three. We only have the last three because there's only 4 sets of results to begin with. So, June 19, 2012, encountered some kind of problem. Got a little better here. Got in the green here. Green here. Averages, standard deviations, and T-crit scores. That stands for T-test critical range score. It's how it's usually written out in statistical books. T-crit means it's the critical value for a T-test score. Anything above that shows that the T-test has failed. Again, throughout, color is being used. Teal always means it's a summary or a first score or whatever. And I've used the rollover event here to prevent very busy tables and graphics. Overall average, 104, 109, 88. When you roll it over, you get the standard deviation, which is 8.4, 10.38, 6.4. Let's remember, these are standardized results at the base level, with 100 being the average and 10 being the standard deviation. That's the adjusted score. Here, this person's average score is 104. which is 4 points over standard deviation, or 4 points over the average of everybody, and their standard deviation is 8. Now, we understand that plus 1 standard deviation and minus 1 standard deviation includes 68% of all scoring. 2 out of 3 times this person is going to score between 96, which is 104 minus 8, and 112, which is over that 110 mark. They're going to score between 96 and 112. 2 out of 3 shots. That's why I show the standard deviation here. Well, we're going to make it a little easier in just a second. The critical score shows you whether or not this score here, which is the average of their last 3 test administrations. You know, you see those, you see that score 107. You say, well, that's over 100. It's over the 100 level, so it's above average. We roll over here. We see standard deviation is 8, so we got an upper limit here of 115. Well, we're pushing that critical area. 99 is going to be the lowest they're going to score if you want to look at their 2 out of 3 range. Is this score okay or not? Well, you kind of see it's pink. That's not a good sign. The critical score is 12. That critical score has to be below 1.96 for them to be in a range to say, you know what, this is a normalized score. This person's done. 112, notice this is bold. Got a standard deviation of 12. That means his upper limit might be as high as 124. Now you're getting up in no man's land. Notice the T-crit score is 21. Got to be below 1.96. We got a while to go here. This, unfortunately, this person only has three admins that we can look at. Let's look at this one. You're going to notice that this T-crit score is 0. Their standard deviation is 8. 8 plus 90, 98. This person doesn't even score above 100, which is the average, when you add the standard deviation to it. Safety score is good. Down here, this graphic, these graphics can be kind of confusing. They're called, this graphic is called a candlestick. And I'll tell you what, we're gonna do a part 2. I'm going to bail out of this now because we're at 20 minutes. No, we're only at 13 minutes. I'm gonna finish this up, and then I'm going to do the other 2 in another video. This graphic is called a... I'll tell you what. We're going to go down below first, so I can spend some time on this. This is an incredibly powerful graphic. It's something you can stare at and maybe get some direction for a client. Down below here, you have admin frequency. Quick test should be given 7 days apart. You need that consistent scoring. Don't give it once and figure, oh yeah, well I know what their anxiety score is. You don't know unless you give it to them right then. Your doctor never said, yeah, I know what your temperature is because I gave it to you 2 months ago. So I'm just going to write it down. It's 97.5. You know what? You got a virus. Your temperature is 103. But your doctor is going to say, no, you know what? I know it's 97.5. It was 2 months ago. That's stupid. To assume somebody has 120 anxiety level because it did 2 months ago is stupid. You have the test. It's free to use. It's called QuikTest because it takes 7 to 10 minutes to take. Send it out as a remote assessment for the person to take. Things are becoming so easy these days. I take this thing on my phone when I'm bored. Okay? A client can take this in the waiting room waiting for you. You come out and you say, did you take your QuikTest? No. Well, take it now. Well, I don't have a computer. You got a phone. Take it on your phone. Your phone, your tablet. I've done it on all of them. I've done it on a Mac. I've done it on a Windows-based PC. I've done it on my phone. I've done it on a tablet. You can do it on, if it connects to the internet, you can do it. No excuse not to do it. Other assessments. These 4 assessments should be given for any substantial counseling situation. I've connected the assessment summary here because it's got all these in it. If all these have been taken, go look at it. If you haven't created a client problem, identified a problem, if you haven't set up a treatment plan, if you have not diagnosed the client, you are out of bounds ethically. You are violating ethics by not doing that. It's wrong. It does not help the client. This is square one. If you haven't done this, it's wrong. It's an ethical violation in every ethical code that exists. Some, you can lose your license if you don't do this stuff. It's just plain wrong. You can't explain why. It's logical not to do that. I know some of you do it somewhere else. Some of you still do it on paper. It's okay. And it's going to continue to show up red here. This is just a flag for you to say, hey, it's not in our system. You didn't put it in here. If you got it somewhere else, y'all good. You're totally good. I would still recommend, since it's real fast to do, that you diagnose here so for your own good, so you can see it here. Okay. I'm looking at 17 minutes now. Try to do this in a couple minutes. And then I'm going to do another video and show you these last 2 drill downs here because they're both unique and they're a little more expansive than this. We have what's called a candlestick graph. This is kind of elaborate, and it gets more elaborate when you put another 3 sets of stuff in here. It's called a candlestick because it's got this little wick thing. This one looks like a candle. This one looks like a candle with a wick on both ends. I've never seen a candle like that. You've got 2 sets of data. This is for all anxiety. 94 to 115. That first left grouping is the wick. It's the bar. It's this thing here. That's 94 and that's 115. That's the beginning low, 94 and 115. This other one, now watch this is really neat, is the 1 standard deviation plus and minus grouping, 96 to 112. This tells me that 2 out of 3 times globally this person has scored in this rectangular big blue box. The last 3 administrations, look at this, they're actually higher than their overall average. Anxiety going up here. Whatever you're doing, it ain't working. Overall depression's higher. Whatever you're doing, not working. Safety score, we're okay. Overall, 82 is or 82 is the lowest. 100 is the highest. With 82 and 95 being the range. The -1 standard deviation, +1 standard deviation. That's 68% grouping. This one here, they're okay. 86 to 100 is the range. 83 to 99 is where you can expect them to score the next time they take it. So I'm going to quit now so YouTube doesn't blow up when I try to upload it, because I'm at 20 minutes. But we'll look at this one and this one on another video, because it's important for you to see a couple of them and see what they look like, especially one that's got a ton of results on it. So that's going to be all for this one. We'll get back on this in just a little bit.